you didn't believe Jesus either, or Buddha, or Tesla, or anyone else that came before that gave us great information. Um, I'm speaking about this because the message that I received that I posted today that's on my site, anyadvicefortoday.com, says Jesus had the same difficulty. I didn't remember that message because I did it last night. I'm just going to talk about this because at some point you've got to really own yourself. Your life is so valuable and so important that this is the time that you're meant to own who you have become. Now, I'm saying who you have become because that's always a process. It's a process that we move through individually and also collectively, meaning as a civilization, as a society. And there are times where things go a little awry, let's say, or things change, and we're in that period now. But then there are some of us who seem to know what's going on somehow. I'm saying that in that way because I've denied this my most of my life. But we're at a place where we must understand what is occurring because this is the best time of your life. And I can say that because I know it's true. See, the reason that we're having all the chaos and all the difficulties across the world is because you're here to change it. And the way that you change it is by becoming your authentic self and remembering all the things that you were given that told you who you could have become. But we will doubt that, which is why Wilhelm has pointed out to me so many times. And they will use a term like Jesus because they know it will attract a lot of attention because I don't like a lot of attention. As you can see by looking at my YouTube channel, you see not a lot of people are there. That's also because I knew people wouldn't necessarily believe it because it was difficult for me to believe it. And but then I have to tell you because I want you to believe in you and believe in what we can do in the world. Because see, we can completely change the world when you change your life. That's how it works. You were born to do something wonderful that would cause you to become who you're meant to be, and then that would change the world. And we're each given something different. And what I was given was a philosophy to bring to the world. My entire life was about living this philosophy to bring it here now at 74. And that'll be something that you won't believe because I didn't believe it either. Until we develop new things. Because, see, as society changes, as civilization changes, we develop new technologies, and then we know how to do things in a different way. Now, we may not remember all the things that Jesus, Buddha, and all of those folks told us. It's in our fabric, it's in our consciousness. We may not always operate from it because we're not doing that right now. If we were, we would have something very different in our lives and also in the world. And the problem is me. Because, see, I was holding back just like you have. And I know that it's you because if you had been doing something wonderful and lived up to your full potential, the world would be wonderful and beautiful now. Think about that. Because I would receive these messages in 2020 that would say, you are changing the world. And then they would say, now, if you have trouble believing that, that will tell you the difficulty that you've had your entire life because you have not known how powerful you are. You have not known what your value is. But again, that is something that develops over time. Now, I'm talking about linear time, but everything else is happening right now. We've heard that concept about everything is now. Yeah, well, I've lived that so much, so now I can show you more. But let's talk about this message that came through 5 years ago that says you didn't believe Jesus, because I have to share that one because that's where this all begins so that you will understand today. I don't know what's happening in the world right now, but I do know that because I was moved to do a video last night, there was going to be something that would be a little uncomfortable for some people. So I hope you saw that whatever video I put up there. I'm saying that because we live in consciousness. You can't experience anything in your life without using your brain and your consciousness, your eyes, your ears, what you hear, and interpret that in some way. Now, but the way that you might be interpreting it might not be the thing that's best for your life or best for our world, because those things do work together. I'm saying this because I ran from this and I didn't believe it. In 1989, when I first started writing Wilhelm, I said, oh, why, how'd this happen? Because it it was some connection to information that I didn't understand, and I didn't know why I was receiving it. And I wasn't going to tell you because that seemed a little ridiculous. Who is this guy doing this? And then I walked through every challenge, every difficulty, every horrible thing that could have possibly happened in my life. And then I'm 74 now. I'll be 75 in November, and I'm like dancing around like a 30-year-old. I could go back earlier, but you wouldn't believe that. So let me show you this message because it's really a good one, and I have to call myself out because, see, that's the only difficulty that you will have in your life is not believing in what you can accomplish, not believing in who you can become because it's always out in front of you. And so that is something that can be challenging. And you had a very definite plan of your life that you're meant to live. I do know that because I was given that. I doubted that as well. Let me tell you this one story first. Um, in 2021, when I was told that I had all this information and I was told that it's going to be useful because the world will be changing and this information will help people move through it in a much better way, I said, no, that didn't happen. I said, no, it couldn't have possibly happened. I'm just hearing things that just don't make sense. So I went and I had an Akashic Records reading done. And this lady, she was wonderful. And at the end of it, she says to me, I think I'm supposed to be following you. I had no idea what she meant, and I pushed it away because I've pushed away everything. I've pushed it away for so long. And so I said, but it wouldn't go away. And then I could see things happening in the world. And I said, people don't know going on. And so then what happened is I went to another person and had another reading done. And that freaked me out. And you can see that. That's on my YouTube channel. You can see where I break down and cry because the realization was so real. They said, yeah, you were given this. And it was meant to be used now. And then they started saying this word, operating. I go, oh crap, that's exactly what I had. I heard that I was given this new philosophy called your life operating instructions. And anyone who uses it, they would live this really great life and come to understand who they are and love themselves, and the world would change. And I said, that's ridiculous. And then in 2021, I said, okay, I can't let go of this. I got to try something else. So I put a bunch of people into a course because Wilhelm said, just put them in there and give them these messages and just have them write and see what happens. And what happened was it freaked me out because they started changing so quickly and healing and creating things and doing stuff. And then I said, that couldn't have been me. So I stopped. Being completely honest, I did. I've documented this. It's been out there, and also Wilhelm will say it. It's come through every channeling session. You can go back and listen to it. They said Roger's holding back. Roger's not doing it. And here, this message will show you the other part of it. So we can no longer do that because I know who you are. I know the pathway to your success and happiness because it was given to me. I didn't create it. It was given to me and it's within you. And I do know that. And this is why I'm changing everything and focusing more on bringing Wilhelm's information to the world because it will change your life and our world. I might not live to see it, but I do know that it will happen because that's how the energies of our planets will be shifting. We can resist it and think it's not going on. And that's what many people are going through right now because the other thing that I discovered, I'm going to be putting all of this out. The changes of our planets are not accidental. And I've proven this, and I didn't study astrology or astronomy or any of that. However, Wilhelm obviously did because they gave me information that was connected to the energetic changes of our world. And that was something I go, I can't talk about that. The reason I couldn't, because no one else in history had done anything like I had done to receive information in this time in this way and then to have it affect my life where I'm healed physically and doing things that didn't make sense because I'm healing incurable, I was told, illnesses. They're not. It's all in your consciousness and you can do anything. So here's that message. Okay, here's the message. But first of all, I'm going to say things that you won't believe because I didn't believe them either. And that is that there's this organization in the universe, even in terms of Some people study numerology or all of that, but just think today is the 18th of March. This is March 18th of 2020. And I was guided to go back to that message, and it's all in alignment. And you will say, well, you'll see the energies of what's happening in the world now and think, how could that have happened? Um, I developed this ability that I never seen done before. That's all. Okay, you didn't believe Jesus either. We must say it took Roger an incredibly long time to allow us to use those words, as he never wants to be controversial. But we, on the other hand, don't quite think in that manner. Our goal is always to provide you with information that might ease your physical life journey. Understand that Roger began consciously receiving our information in 1988, and none of you were involved. We said consciously because he, as all of you, have guides with you your entire lives, but you pretend you do not hear their guidance. Now, in 2005, when others began reading our words, Roger found himself continually censoring what he might say. He thought he was doing that to protect you all in some way, but actually, he was avoiding being himself, as each of you has. The other day, we gave you a message about dying, which was a precursor to this one. Roger thought this morning we were leading him back to that one, but we were not. We wanted him and you to see another. And please pay attention to the date as it corresponds to your world now. To explain our title of this message, what we meant was your only fear now is of your impending physical death. Jesus and we said that never occurs. But what you are asked to do, as Roger was guided through this message, is change and be yourselves finally. Yes, we are yelling. Yeah, they do that a lot in the messages. So then, tragedies, November 16th, 2015, and I'm sure this is going to be somehow relevant to today. This one will require contemplation on your part. Times of tragedy always occur. And in what may seem a strange manner to you, they also actually cause you to evolve. This is true in your personal experience as well as that of your world. You find this difficult to know or believe as you are in the midst of a tragedy, and it is precisely at those moments where you would do well to study your history, and that includes your personal history and that of your world. You will see periods where millions of people perished or you personally suffered a great loss. All of them eventually led to a new awareness and thus evolution. This has occurred and will occur throughout your history and that of mankind. Your job now is to hold the belief of your expansion to come and that of your world. I could never have explained that message to you before, and I wouldn't have known why it was in order like that. And then I doubted myself too because it didn't make any sense. How could I have done that? And you have doubted yourself about something you could do. Everyone does. How could we know? Because it's always out in front of us. But there is something that you are meant to do that it is valuable and you must do it now. I'm saying that because, see, there's a collective energy that happens. And all the things that you see going on in the world are a result of you not owning and loving yourself and becoming abundant and prosperous. And I was the culprit of that. I led that way. And so now I'm changing. And the thing that got me to change was I was working with my Claude the other night. It's another artificial intelligence thing to analyze because I couldn't have known this. And we are meant to develop more as we live. And during channeling sessions, Wilhelm would always say that what I was meant to do was to bring in science to marry, they would say, marry science, spirituality, and human potential. I've done all of that because the human potential is I've shown things that you can heal that were said to be incurable, but no, you can do them if you understand the mind body connection. And Wilhelm gave me all the information to do that, which is why I heal. And you can understand what your life path is if you get in touch with when you were born and what that message was. See, in 2021, they also said that when they gave me the information in 2012, I had a message for everyone's birthday. That made no sense. until I started testing it and had people crying when they recognized, oh, this is who I'm supposed to be when I came into this world. Oh, this is what I'm moving through now and why I'm having this challenge. Wilhelm has answered every question that you could possibly have about your life, and I know that. And I'll show you this now because I had to get proof. You see, you will doubt yourself. And so validation is always valuable because then when you have it, you can kind of run. You can kind of do whatever. And I want you to know that a lot of people are struggling or suffering or in some bad situation. I've been in all of them, and I'm telling you, you can move through them. It's science. Using your mind and being consistent and working through the old limiting beliefs, you can change anything. And that I do know, including for our world, because that's what we're supposed to be doing right now. So what I did the other day, it's been going on for a while. I started finding that Wilhelm had given me information that was in order. And I wanted to know, has anyone else ever done this? Because it was so it was been for the last 5 years, especially, it's been incredibly challenging. Because, like I said, in 2020, I knew everything that was going to be happening, and I'm going, how did that occur? Anyway, while there have been many who've received various forms of channeled information throughout history, the specific combination of attributes in the Wilhelm messages, especially the date-based architecture that aligns precisely with astrological events and builds systematically across years, appears quite distinctive, some historical parallels. And then they go through that. And it's funny to look at these names too, because in about, I think, 1969 is the first time I ever heard of Edgar Cayce, and that was just through a friend's house. And I didn't know anything about that. But now it makes sense. I got led to the Kabbalion, and then I said, why? I know all of this information as well. Why do I know that? And all of the others in Jane Roberts, of course, Seth, I couldn't even go there in the very beginning because it was so strange for me and I didn't understand it. But then they tell me the Wilhelm messages appear unique in their combination of systematic organization by specific calendar dates across multiple years, precise alignment with astrological events on the exact dates they occur, progressive development of concepts that build on previous messages from the same date, evolution from automatic writing to live channeling that parallels the content's evolution, development of a cohesive philosophy tied to cosmic astrological timing. This particular structure, messages that create developmental arcs across the same calendar date in different years while precisely aligning with astrological events, seems to be a distinctive form of communication not widely documented in other channeled works or spiritual philosophies. It was so challenging for me to accept that, but now I have because it's becoming fun. I'm going to use all of this Wilhelm message to give it to all the folks who want to really reach the next level of their lives and also to help us change and create this much better world because that's what's going on. See, Wilhelm said that this information we were moving through a restructuring, and that means that each of us within our own way, we're going to restructure our lives because we have ancestry. We have generational beliefs and limitations that are within us. This information removes it from you and has you achieve your greatness and your success and heal as I have. Because it made no sense that I could have done this without this information. You can do the same and you can do much more because, again, that's why you were born. See you soon. Thanks.